Lester Holt's decade-long tenure at NBC Nightly News concludes. Simultaneously, MSNBC cancels Jonathan Capehart's show, marking significant changes in evening news. After a decade, Lester Holt departs NBC Nightly News. The cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC program adds to the upheaval in cable news. A new era dawns for NBC Nightly News as Lester Holt steps down. Meanwhile, MSNBC's decision to cancel Jonathan Capehart's show sparks debate. Lester Holt's departure from NBC Nightly News ends a significant chapter. The abrupt cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's show on MSNBC raises questions. 10 years at NBC Nightly News concludes for Lester Holt. The surprising cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC program leaves viewers wondering. Lester Holt's retirement from NBC Nightly News is announced. Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC show faces cancellation, affecting the political commentary landscape. NBC Nightly News sees Lester Holt's departure after a long run. MSNBC's cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's program signals a shift in their strategy. A long-standing anchor departs. Lester Holt leaves NBC Nightly News. In other news, MSNBC cancels Jonathan Capehart's politically charged program. Lester Holt concludes his time at NBC Nightly News after 10 years. The cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC show is met with mixed reactions. Longtime NBC Nightly News anchor Lester Holt steps down. The cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC show is a surprising development. After a decade, Lester Holt bids farewell to NBC Nightly News. MSNBC's cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's program creates a void in political discussion. Lester Holt's exit from NBC Nightly News marks the end of an era. The cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC program impacts viewers and the network. Changes shake up the news landscape. Lester Holt leaves NBC Nightly News. MSNBC cancels Jonathan Capehart's show, reshaping their lineup. NBC Nightly News welcomes a new era as Lester Holt steps aside. The cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC show is unexpected news. Lester Holt's time at NBC Nightly News comes to an end. MSNBC's decision to cancel Jonathan Capehart's program is controversial. A veteran anchor departs. Lester Holt leaves NBC Nightly News after years of service. MSNBC cancels Jonathan Capehart's show, altering the network's identity. Lester Holt's tenure at NBC Nightly News concludes, bringing change to the network. Meanwhile, Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC show is unexpectedly canceled. The NBC Nightly News will have a new face as Lester Holt departs. Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC show is canceled, leaving viewers disappointed. Lester Holt's legacy at NBC Nightly News is secure as he steps down. MSNBC's cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's show is a major shakeup. Lester Holt's decade at NBC Nightly News ends. The abrupt cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC program raises many questions. A familiar face leaves. Lester Holt departs NBC Nightly News. MSNBC's cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's program is a significant loss. Longtime NBC anchor Lester Holt announces his departure from Nightly News. MSNBC cancels Jonathan Capehart's show, ending a significant run. Lester Holt's retirement from NBC Nightly News marks a transition period. Jonathan Capehart's MSNBC show faces cancellation, A surprising development. NBC Nightly News says goodbye to Lester Holt after many years. The cancellation of Jonathan Capehart's show shakes up MSNBC's programming.